Is it poppin'?
Dude, we're in like the back. This is your backyard right now.
This is my backyard.
It's so peaceful and nice, and
I know.
I feel like
I'm surprised you don't hear the birds, actually.
Yeah, when we were setting up, there was a lot of birds out here. This is like a really cool. And then like what I love about the West Coast is like there's just cactuses and succulents just like coming out of the ground. We're in Florida. We're like going to like look at stores to buy them.
No, seriously, I can walk down the street and get aloe, like from someone's yard, and I just cut it off.
Get a little sunburn, just go down to your neighbor's house.
I don't need to go to any Rite Aid.
Oh, Rosa, how you doing, girl?
I'm good.
You good? Out in LA?
Good. I'm good.
Sunny old LA. It's like middle of summer in LA, but
actually, I mean, what is it? What time is it right now? It's 10 o'clock, and it's like 85 degrees already. It's gonna be hot.
So, but like not Florida hot, not humid.
No, at all. Everybody comes here because they love the weather, and the earthquakes. I know people are scared about those, but it's fine.
Wouldn't it be dope if there was an earthquake to happen like right now?
I would go under this table, and I feel like you would run.
I'd fly somehow.
No, you have to go under the table. You have to go into earthquake position.
I'm sweating a little bit. It's a little bit hot, but like not like if it was Florida, it would be you'd see full blown sweat. But we're out here in LA. What part of LA are we in right now? We're at your house, right?
This is Rosa's house.
This is Rosa's house?
Rosa's backyard.
If you Google it, you see Rosa's house.
This is it. No, we're in Mid-City. Mid-City, which is actually super good, a really great area because it's in the middle of Beverly Hills. Or actually, it's in the middle, so it has easy access to Beverly Hills, Hollywood, downtown.
Right. So Midtown.
Santa Monica. Yeah, Mid-City. Exactly. That's literally, yeah.
Damn.
So any Uber ride or any whatever like ride sharing thing, it costs like maybe $9.
So you Uber a lot? Wait, do you have a car, right?
I have my car, yeah. But actually last night I Ubered to a friend's house and then we Ubered from there.
Okay.
Because dude, driving in LA is so annoying. It's horrible.
Really? And you've been in New York. Is it worse in New York?
No, I haven't been to New York.
Oh, you haven't?
That's actually the only city. Houston. Okay, when I was in Houston, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. Because at least everyone in LA is going one way.
Sure.
But here, here everyone's going like one way and it's crazy bumper to bumper. But in Houston, there's like bridges and it's a hot ass mess.
I mean, everyone talks about LA traffic. Like I have another interview later and they're like, oh, well, when traffic goes, it'll take 2 hours to get here, but without traffic, it's like 30 minutes. I'm like, what the heck? That's like crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
You'll be stuck forever. I mean, I work like 4 miles from here, and it takes me 30 minutes with traffic. And
it's not like Cape Coral where you can just hop in your car and drive down veterans.
Yeah, but snowbirds maybe.
So speaking of Southwest Florida, are you originally from Southwest? That's how I know you. But where are you from? Where are you Rosa? From? Rosa's kind of like a little mysterious type of girl. Like you got like 3 last names. All your social medias are different. Like where are you actually from?
I'm from South Carolina.
You're from South Carolina?
Yeah, I'm from South Carolina, a super small town called Spartanburg.
Is that what your passport says?
It is what my passport says, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
That is what my passport says.
So you're from Spartanburg.
Spartanburg, South Carolina. I was born and raised there. Oh my gosh, Annabelle is going to love this. Because I tell this story to all of my Uber drivers.
Okay, what's the story? Let's give us the Uber story.
Born and raised in South Carolina. Moved out when I was 12. My mom moved us out because the neighborhood was like not super great.
Right.
Moved to North Fort Myers.
North Fort.
So not Cape.
Yeah.
North Fort Myers.
Like
yeah.
That real.
And oh my gosh, my dogs are so.
You have some 2 cute little dogs. Can we put them up? They probably can see them in the wide ones.
This is, I call them Pinky and the Brain because one's like real tiny and one's real fat. This is Missy.
Look at this dog.
She's from Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. I got her at a flea market in Mexico.
Mexican?
Yeah.
She's so chill. She's like an old soul. Like.
Yeah.
Is she old?
She's super wise. Look at her. She's like, oh my god.
And then the other dog is
12
like
years
super
old.
wild
and this is Lola.
Up.
She's a little attention hoe.
Hey, say what's up, though.
She was a gift. She's so dirty. But anyway, yeah. So North Fort Myers, moved there when I was 13. Then went to Mariner Middle.
Mariner Middle? Hey. Wait.
Shout out to Mariner Middle, Mariner High.
So you lived in North Fort Myers, went to Mariner Middle, and I remember Mariner Middle being like the ratchet school of
because the thing is that everybody that went to Mariner Middle were almost like the rejects from the schools that they couldn't get into because their parents either enrolled them too late, or people were moving from like New York or other places. So my mom tried to get me into Calusa, actually. And they were like, no, we're full. So I got stuck with Mariner Middle and all the gangs and all the crazy ass girls.
I remember, like, what was it, Brian Lopez and shit? Like, there was some really ratchet
scrapping
people. But Calusa was pretty ratchet too. Like,
I feel like all of those schools are pretty ratchet.
I went to Gulf Middle. We were cool. We were nice.
What is it
Gulf
called?
Middle.
Oh.
It was like next to Baker. Like, that's where all the Baker kids went.
Okay.
Because that was the first year it opened or whatever. But okay, so you went to Mariner Middle.
Mariner Middle, then.
Well, so you're from Spartanburg. What kind of city is Spartanburg? First off, is it a small town? Farmland?
Yeah, super small town. Very country. A lot of people, when I told them I'm from South Carolina, they're like, "Where's your accent?" I'm like, "Oh, it comes out sometimes. Sometimes they can come out."
So when did you move to Norfolk Myers?
When I was 12.
You were 12.
Okay. And actually, it's so funny. I turned 13 in Norfolk Myers, or obviously in Florida, and I invited all these people from Mariner Middle to my birthday party, and no one fucking came. Dude, I passed out all these invitations, and my mom was like, "Oh, you're gonna make friends. It's gonna be great." Da, 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 da. I literally passed out all these little cards.
But how soon was that?
It was pretty soon. I don't know who I thought I was.
You were kind of confident there.
I was like, "Oh yeah, friends. I have a lot of them."
Gotta give it a quarter.
No, it was horrible.
God.
And you know the shrimp festival that happens on Fort Myers Beach. So of course, the day that I want to do the party, the fucking shrimp festival is there, and
oh my God.
I was like, "Where's all my friends?" I couldn't find them because there's all these shrimp people everywhere. So.
But you of all people, like, you're the girl that gathers people all the time. Like, so like that's kind of weird that actually happened to you. It's kind of humbling.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say that they came. I just couldn't find them.
You could.
That's what I'm gonna say.
They just got lost and you just couldn't find them.
That's what I'm saying.
Was it culture shock going from Spartanburg to North?
Oh my God.
For Myers?
That is an amazing question. Because yes.
It was? In what way?
In South Carolina, everyone's very. Well, the area that I grew up in, the school that I went to, because remember, when I went to middle school now, my mom took me out of like half of my middle school in South Carolina. So I had to jump into like 7th grade already. I was almost done. And the people in Florida are just so nice, but in a very odd way.
Really? So nicer than Spartanburg? Because that's the South. Like South.
Well, remember, it's like the neighbor. Okay, so people are nice in where I grew up in Spartanburg. But they're very, like, to themselves. They give you your space. It's like you have, like, it's different. So when I got to Florida, I was in school, and all of the girls, you know, everybody's they're either, like, Cuban, Colombian, da-da-da-da. I grew up with a lot of Mexicans and white people and a lot of black people in South Carolina. So I get to Florida, and everybody's like, "Hello, hola, hola, mwah, mwah, mwah."
Cubans doing a double kiss.
And I'm like, and I was like, this is too much, bro. Like, you guys are too much. And girls were very open with each other, talking about, like, their bodies. And everyone's, like, 12, 13 years old. And I'm sitting there, like, with my Echo Red shirt and my Air Forces on.
Wow. Okay,
I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah.
It was just, the girls were, like, I was, like, super tomboyish.
Right.
And they were with, like, their Colombian jeans, their scrunchy shirts, and Chinese slippers.
Did you know a lot of Hispanic people in Spartanburg? Was that
a
a lot of Mexicans? Like, you have family in Spartanburg?
Well, because my mom's side of the family is Mexican, her whole family is in Mexico, and my dad's side of the family is American. Okay. They're from South Carolina, but where I grew up, it was mostly Mexicans because a lot of people migrated there for work. So a lot of people were, you know, kind of like settling down there, building families, having their homes. A lot of Hispanics.
Oh, right.
So, and it was for work. And now you go back, and I mean, they're still there, but most of them have now migrated to other places like Indiana or like up north, where they can find work.
Right.
So
what would you say is the biggest difference between from like living in Spartanburg and living in because I know we're going to talk a little bit later about like Mexico and stuff, but like as far as South Carolina and Norfolk Myers, what would you say the biggest difference is in culture or lifestyle or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like for me it was mostly, I mean, Norfolk, but where I was living was a bit like ghetto, as you can say. And then the same thing with like North Fort Myers. It was just a prettier ghetto.
Yeah, I mean, not
because it's not hitting up to Suncoast. You've been to have you been to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No offense, because I lived in worse places.
Yeah.
It's North Fort Myers.
It was like an okay ghetto.
You get in your house and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, it's more about the people, like the people that are surrounded in the area. But no, I think that overall, people in South Carolina are just like a lot more simple. Right. And the difference I noticed is that they were a lot more about themselves.
Right.
And not as simple and a little bit more extra, you can say. So it was hard to kind of like adjust because, again, I was really pissed at my mom for fucking moving.
We all were. Our parents moved us, because all of our parents moved us here to Southwest Florida. We all were mad at them. I remember the first time I did, and I was mad at my mom too. So like,
I cried.
It was bad. It was a bad time, but
I know I'm thankful because honestly, if I would have stayed. At that period, there were a lot of gangs, and it was just
it used to be a little bit worse. I feel like Cape Coral's gotten better, but Fort Myers has gotten worse. But like Cape Coral used to be pretty crazy. Like,
really?
I feel.
Remember,
like
I didn't hang out a lot in Cape Coral. I hung out a lot.
Cape Coral, North Fort Myers, I feel like was way worse back in the day. And now it's kind of like even out where I think parts of Fort Myers have gotten really bad. But well. I think I'm glad you moved to Southwest Florida because I wouldn't have met you. So.
I moved, even though I didn't invite you to my
you didn't invite me to your
13th party.
All right, so you are in North Fort Myers, going to Mariner Middle. What? And then even talk about high school a little bit. Like, what do you feel like? How could you explain like what life is like to you as a adolescent teen in Southwest Florida? Like, especially now living in LA and stuff and seeing like maybe like some of the other younger kids and how they live here. Like, what was it like for you? What was your lifestyle like?
I mean, it was pretty simple. Everybody, for sure, dude, people party. People party.
In LA? Or
no.
In Southwest Florida?
I'm talking high school.
In high school,
middle school, high school.
High school.
Party. And then I think, to answer your last question, that is for sure one of like the biggest culture shocks. Like, I went home living in South Carolina and going back to my house, and I played like in my grass and in the dirt, and I went to go play basketball and things like that. Right. But no, people in
you get the text like every Friday night, dude, like party over here, party over here, party over here.
Partying, and now being the age I am, I'm like, I almost feel like I low-key have gotten it out of my system when I was like 15.
So you don't feel like LA. So do you feel like you fall into the LA party scene a lot? Like, does it pull you in?
Not at all. I mean,
I've been checking your snaps. You'd be out here, but I don't know how out here you are. Because I mean, if I moved here, I'd go broke in 10 days. Like,
well, you have to play it right.
Yeah, I don't. Well, see, and the girls, I feel like girls out here could do it better because they don't have to buy drinks and shit. Yeah. Ladies' nights and all this bullshit. Like.
You know, I hate that, actually. It's like I was talking to someone the other day about it, and I get it. It's like, you know, you bring in more women into places, but it's like, I don't even want to get into that topic.
It's pretty misogynistic to really go like, is. Hey,
you're
all
a
the
guy,
ladies
$40, $50.
And the guy,
you're a girl? Great.
The guy will pay. We will pay because we're like, what are you not going to pay to go like.
Yeah, and then you have to spend like another $60 at the bar.
And then buy girls drinks? I mean.
That's crazy.
Man,
I know.
This should. Talk about feminism's cool, but like this should be like meninism.
No, I'm with you. I get
male
it.
power.
I get it. Yeah, no, I
power
get
to
it.
the males.
But LA scene. No, I mean I'm not like there's a lot of people here. I've actually the more I've gotten to know a lot of people here. In the past, people were saying, "Oh, Hollywood is really small, or LA is really small. You know, everybody knows each other." I'm like, that's crazy. And first of all, I'm like, I don't want no one to know me. Like, I want to come out here. Yeah, I'm just like, no way.
Yeah,
like,
you
I
got
just
a blank
want to do
slate.
my own thing and just lay low, you know. And I'm starting to make more friends now. And I mean, I've been here for a long time, and now I'm starting to make more friends. But it's because I'm starting to be a little bit more social in like the social scene.
Right.
And yeah, I run into people I know all the time. I'm like, okay, you're right. Whoever told me that once. LA is pretty small all the time.
LA is small. That's weird because I mean, I'm from New York originally, but like at heart, I'm like a Southwest Florida native.
Yeah, you're hardcore Southwest Florida.
I'm repping Southwest Florida. Like I believe that Southwest Florida, like I'm gonna.
I think it has a lot of growth.
We have a lot of potential.
Yeah, for sure.
And if people would if the people that were there for the time that they're there would maximize the potential that they have and the potential that it has, I think it will continue to go where it's going. Like we've got a lot, we've grown a lot in the last even just 3 years. So.
Dude, I think you have a really big part in that, though.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I mean, come on, you're not a rapper, but it's all good.
I'm not a rapper, but hey, like, you know, yeah, I told, because, you know, I don't know if you know, but I was gonna move here. I was gonna move here like a year and a half ago.
Oh, that was when I was gone.
I was gonna go to San Diego. My brothers were moving to LA.
Oh, I think you told me. Yeah, I think when we spoke, you told me.
And I went through like this really like rough part of my life where, you know, I got diagnosed with depression and like I was going to therapy and I didn't want to leave my therapist because he's really had a big track record in my life, and like I was just like, yo, I can't leave right now, because if I leave and uproot everything and I'm already unstable, like, so I had to give up my dream of like moving out here, because I knew like sometimes it scares me to think about moving out here, because like, and I want to ask you about this, but like you're a big fish in a small pond, and when you come out here, you're like there's another nigga, like. Yeah. So for me, that was one of my biggest fears. My biggest fear is like I'm not gonna know anybody, and I'm not gonna have a support system like that. I could literally get stuck on the road in Southwest Florida anywhere, and someone's gonna be like, Malik, you need help, and I'm like, you know, like, but in here it's like, nigga, you on the road, like you stuck. Oh well, like I don't know you.
And I think that's I think that's one of the top 3 fears that people have when they want to move. You know. They're scared that they don't have someone there to back them up if they need to stay somewhere, if they want to go somewhere. Like, how do I know where to go? Who's going to tell me? The friends, like, things like that. And I think that's like super normal, though.
Well, then how do...
And I mean, come on, dude, you're hella popular. And
yeah, but like the fear
and
is
you're a people person.
But what if I move here and I'm not the same person?
You will be, though, because that's just who you are. That's your persona. Dude, since I've met you, you've always been the same Malik. And I'm sure everybody can agree. You've always been the same Malik. So whether, I mean, right now you're in Los Angeles, you know me, you know, your brother's here. Like, I get it. But you can go into any room and you're you. That doesn't, like, your location
a part of me knows, like, I would finesse any room, any situation. And then a part of me is like, but what if it's just your environment?
But then also, if you think about it, you're a DJ, right? So you're going into these locations where you have no idea who these people are, other than the people who booked you, obviously.
Right.
But...
yeah, that's a good point. That's encouraging, though. It's encouraging because I believe that, you know, I gave myself like a 5-year thing of like I'm gonna be in Southwest Florida for another 5 years. It's been like 2 years. Yeah. But I wanted to like say I needed for mentally and emotionally to like root myself in Southwest Florida, because a lot of us, like, when we live in Southwest Florida, we tend to go like, I'm moving anytime soon. I'm gonna move, and so we end up not doing anything really significant. Yeah, in Southwest Florida.
I totally get what you're saying, because you have this. I stopped doing that, actually, where it's like I put a time frame, and it's so frustrating. And at the beginning, of course, when you're like in your early 20s, or like you're like 19, 20 years old, or whatever, you're like, when I'm 22, when I'm 23, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and blah 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 blah. And I get it; it's not, you know, a huge difference of age of what I am now, but dude, time frames suck. They suck, and it's okay. It's great to have things listed and have goals and, you know, have aspirations. As long as those are in place and they're in your brain, then great. But I mean, things happen, things come in between, you know. Sometimes you have to take a different route.
A plan, you could plan, but man, you can't plan with life. You can't plan for life, like, because life happens, right? And like shit changes, you got to readjust, and like, you know, you've obviously had a lot of readjusting in your life. You know, you've readjusted multiple different places at different times. Oh my God, so much. How have you? Because I feel like when I talk to you, I like think of someone like my brother, who is like that. Like so you have like this hustle, this like no matter what environment you put Rosa in. This is how I even knew you in high school. It's how I know you as an adult, young adult. You have this way of like figuring shit out, no matter what. How did you get that in you? Like, where did that come from?
My mom. For sure.
Shout out to your mom. Your mom's a legend out here, dude. Love her. Your mom is a freaking legend,
Shout out to Mama. I love her so much. She's in Mexico right now.
She's in freaking Mexico, trying to get an Uber.
Yeah, I get a phone call 7 o'clock in the morning. Rosa, I really need you to wake up. I need you to call me an Uber. Yes, I can call an Uber from here to Mexico. Yeah, no, my mom actually, her parents passed away when she was, her dad passed away. She has 6 siblings right now. She's the last one left, last one living. Wow. And her parents passed away when she was 21, both of them. So it was really crazy, and she moved to America to be a nurse, and she married a quadriplegic man, or actually she came out to be his nurse. And
wow.
Yeah, and it was like in the newspaper. It's so funny because
so he was already a
quadriplegic, yeah.
And she fell for him.
And, yeah. Wow. And I think it's I'm like, that is, I think my mom, of course everybody's mom is like their hero.
Sure,
you know,
sure,
of course.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't know, to me, I'm like, that is very, very selfless of her, so
Absolutely.
loving. But yeah, she came to America to be his nurse. He found her in Guadalajara, and she was his nurse for a while here, and eventually, after a while, they got married, and he's not my dad. My dad is my mom's second marriage, but I know, even though he's not my dad, I know that was like the love of my mom's life.
Yeah.
And she's like, he taught me how to do everything, to get my GED, to ride a horse, fix my car, how to drive a car. And it's crazy because you see more than, you know, the outside. It's like the inside for her. So yeah, to answer your question, I think that a lot of me being able to do everything like on the spot and just get it moving is from her. I mean, my mom, in any situation or issue she has, she's like, it's fine, I'll fix it, I'll get it done. It's happening. And I've grown up with that my whole life, so.
It's like instilled in you because I mean, when you first moved out here, I mean, it took me a couple years to like finally come out here. Mm-hmm. I came out here and you were like working and you still are, but what do you do? Are you working at a model agency?
So I work on a movie lot in downtown. I do operations for them. So basically like all the back end, just making sure it's a school. So making sure it's running properly.
It's a school for what?
For people who want to get into the industry, for like modeling, acting,
really?
Singers, dancers, yeah.
And so the people that you're working with or teaching or helping get along, like, do they actually make it, or is that like a?
Well, it's more of like our instructors are actresses or models or whoever working.
Current
in the industry.
actresses working in the industry.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's great because you're not, you know, receiving lessons or whatever from somebody who worked in the industry like 50 years ago.
Right.
It's obviously a lot different. So everything that's in now. And yeah, we work with kids, and I worked there ever since I moved here, actually. And I've come up I started off as an assistant.
How'd you get the job in the first place?
Dude, shout out to Craigslist.
Walk someone through trying to move to a big fucking city and find a job. How did you do that? And like walk us through what to do, how you did it. Like, okay. Yeah.
Okay, my last year of high school, everybody thought I was not going to graduate. So F all you guys.
F y'all niggas who didn't think she was going to graduate. Look him in the camera.
No, seriously though. And I remember like confronting people because they were like, oh, whatever. Anyways, haters going to hate, right? So last year of high school, I was traveling a lot. I was doing a lot of modeling work. I was in Miami. I was in LA. I was going back and forth. So 18 years old, graduated in May or something like that, and 2 weeks later, I got on a plane and I left to LA.
2 weeks after you graduated high school? Mm-hmm. What the?
No, was it 2 weeks?
It was definitely, holy shit.
Maybe a
like,
week. Yeah.
High school.
Yeah, done. Like,
how, like, when I graduated high school, I was like,
what text is coming through for the next party?
Like, I was not thinking about moving nowhere.
No, well, I mean, I wasn't either. But my last year was really, really determined. I don't know. It just happened, and I started to gain contacts in Southwest Florida for modeling, and they.
Because you as a model though, personally.
Yeah.
Because I remember like you'd post a lot of pictures, and I'm like, damn, Rosa, you posting these pictures? I'm liking everything, like out here, double liking shit, double tapping. No, you were originally modeling yourself. You're gaining a lot of contacts through that. Yeah. So
then I eventually moved to here because I got signed with an agency and I had a manager.
Okay.
So I was 18 and I was here, and then my mom was really helping me fund pretty much any career that I wanted to do in that, because if my manager was like, you have to take acting lessons.
She helped you. She'll
so yeah. So then she was like, you're making me poor, so she cut me off. She was like your scholarship fund. Yeah, she straight up like, but I'm like, Mom, you gotta help me out for a while. No, she was like, no. It lasted for like a month, and she was like, no. So It was actually.
So you moved out here thinking that she was gonna like, hold you down the whole way financially?
Well, she told me no. Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. I knew. She's like, okay, I'll help you for a few weeks, whatever, and then you can get a job.
You knew you would figure it out somehow.
Yeah, of course. Okay. But again, now I have to find a job in Los Angeles, a place that I have no idea about. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do, right? So I moved out here. I stayed with a family member in a 2-bedroom house with 7 people. Yeah. And I slept on the floor for a year and a half.
Shit.
Yeah, for a year and a half. And
that's what I'm saying. That's who you are. Like, you don't, like, you're going to make it work. Like,
dude, every morning I rolled out the mattress. Rolled up the mattress. Mm-hmm. Every night rolled out the mattress. In the morning, everybody was, like, all making noise. I was just like, oh, I'm an only child, dude. I've had, so that's not spoiled, because I know everybody's, like, automatically thinks that.
You're not entitled or anything, but
I've had my own space. My whole life. I've had my own space. So that immediately affected me, and I'm like, ugh, this is gonna fucking suck. But I wrote it out, and I wasn't getting. So I was still doing like my acting and modeling and stuff like that. But it was really hard for me. My mom literally called me and said, "You are no longer on my bank account." And shit. I'm like, what the? Okay.
Ain't nothing, cut that bit.
Yeah, she was like, "You're done." Like,
cut it.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm gonna cut you off." So.
Okay. Okay.
So I went on Craigslist and I just started applying to a whole bunch of shit. Dude, I literally applied to clean houses.
It didn't matter to you.
I was like, I have to make money somehow. So, first of all, where the fuck was Lyft back then? Like,
so you don't even use Uber? What do you mean?
No, 18. I was 18. I mean, this was like what?
So you weren't using any of those. You were just like.
They didn't have it back then.
How are you getting around? How are you?
My uncle had, oh my god, I wish I could show it to you, had this broke down truck. Okay. Like, broke down that, like, to hold the back of to hold the trunk part, I don't know, I'm really bad at part names, was a rope, like, to hold it together. It was broke down. I'm like, I don't fucking care, it's a car. It's gonna get me from point A
4 wheels,
to
point A,
now,
point B.
you know, I'm a little bougie now.
Yeah. But I feel like you have to have a little, like, you have to have a bougie in you, right? Your pride can't be that high when you're talking about making it and grinding shit out. Like, you can't be high maintenance.
No.
You could have high standards, right? You have high goals.
Yeah.
Shit, even high expectations.
But if you want to make shit happen,
if you want to make shit happen,
yeah, you can't. And yeah, you can't at all.
And that's why like, I was definitely excited to like talk to you, because I know you have a lot of humble beginnings. But at the same time, you and your mom come from like this very rich, not just money wise, but rich sense of quality that you guys enjoy. You enjoy good food, you enjoy good drink, you enjoy good culture, right? You're cultured.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, nigga, I'll eat ramen 5 months straight if I got to. Nigga.
I will. I really will. Literally, okay, lentils.
Lentil soup?
The shit. Yeah. My mom taught me how to do that. The cheapest thing, if I'm broke or whatever.
How do you do it? What is it?
Lentils? No, actually, sorry. Tomatoes, onions. Let it saute, a little bit of olive oil. Lentils, water, done. Oh, scoop of chicken, the powder.
Okay. Chicken powder.
The powder.
Not even real chicken, nigga. It's like
a scoop. So I'm like, no.
Chicken powder, nigga.
The powder. Dude, best thing. The best.
And you just boil it.
Yeah. And
so, I'm just gonna...
And it's actually very healthy.
Onions.
Yeah,
potatoes.
No, what the fuck? Potatoes? No.
You said potatoes.
No, tomatoes.
Oh, Nigga, I was about to make potato soup.
Potatoes with lentil. No, saute, onion, tomato.
Okay.
And and that's it. And olive oil, saute.
And you make a big ass pot of it, or what?
Yeah, a small pot.
And you just eat that shit.
The best. Easy. I'll make it for you
before
you leave. It's
shit,
good.
You do that shit now, then.
I'm gonna go in the kitchen
I'm leaving
right now.
in literally 24 hours. Okay, so you like.
So I lived on for a year and a half. Eventually got a job. No, so I'm like, bro, nobody's replying to my messages. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? How am I gonna make money? I went to Santee Alley. Have you been?
No.
Santee Alley Fashion District. I've never taken you.
Oh, maybe. I think you took me last time I was here. Maybe. You took me a bunch of places last time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Santee Alley, the Fashion District, and it's basically a whole bunch of people like selling clothes and whatever. It's a whole bunch of shops, and they put out signs that say like, oh, working, or we need people to work. And I was like, hey, I'm looking for a job. They're like, okay, can you start today? I'm like, yeah, sure.
No, that's the place you're working at still?
No. Oh my God, no. This was a lingerie shop. It was like a little lingerie shop.
Did you get like 40% off type shit?
No. Dude, the guy was so fucking cheap. He's like, oh, okay, so today you sell these and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay. And yeah, and I worked there for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
And
so you were working there and you were still Craigslisting?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I was like, this is...
But you took what you could get at the time.
Yeah, of course. I was like, this is money. I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to... The thing is that I've never stopped working. Like, I've been working since I was like 10 years old. My mom had a tortilla factory. I was working for her. She'd pay me weekly. Then she eventually contacted one of her friends that had a restaurant, and I was a hostess. I was like 11, and I was a hostess at some like Mexican restaurant. They paid me like $60 a weekend. And I was like, yeah, this is great. My mom always has put me to work. Always.
Yeah, here hustling, working.
So I've always been working, and for me, there's like no downtime. If there's downtime, I'm like, there's time for naps. I'm nap queen.
Right? Okay.
No, for sure. But no, anything with like making money and just getting it going, and for sure. And and then I found the job where I am at now, and
working with potential current models.
It's so we work with a lot
actresses.
So people who want to get into the industry, right? So people come to LA and they're like, okay, I want to be a model, right? There's people here from everywhere that want to be models and actresses and whatever. So yeah, they come to us and they say, hey, I'm really interested in learning more about the industry. I'm going to pay you. I want to pay you to learn about the acting industry, or learn things about reels, headshots, how to cast myself, how to go on auditions, things like that not a lot of people know about when they come out here. And then we give them a certain amount of classes, and at the end we connect them to agents and managers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a couple different questions about the industry, right? The LA, Hollywood acting industry, right?
Okay.
One, personally for you, is why did you stop? Like, cause you were modeling, like, nigga, like you could have kept doing your thing. Why did you stop doing that?
Actually, I still get a lot of people are like, why aren't you doing that? You should be. So the modeling part, I left LA for a while, but the modeling part, the last thing I did was I was in LA Fashion Week a couple years ago, and that was really awesome.
Shouts out to Rosa.
It was amazing.
Stun on them.
I loved
Talk
it.
your shit. All right, cool.
Yeah, for the people that think I was gonna graduate.
Fuck y'all niggas again. Tell them again, my man. All right.
So anyway, so I dropped my manager and I dropped my agent. And this was a while back. I was like, ugh, that's not the life for me. That's not. Like, unless acting, this is more geared toward the acting portion of my life. Unless acting is, like, your passion. You literally wake up and you are so passionate about this career you want to pursue, then for sure, like, you should definitely do it. Every morning you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm going to make moves today in this specific whatever subject or whatever. So, it wasn't, I was like, this is more of something everybody else wants me to do, not what I want to do. I was always the business side of it. Like, and I'm also very consistent. Like, I need money to constantly come in.
You can't live off that freelance.
I can't do that.
Jobs.
Yeah.
So.
Which I think is great. Like, people are creative and they want to do that and whatever. But I'm creative in my own way that I can make sure that it's consistent, and I was more behind the scenes. Like, I was organizing fashion shows. I was working with designers, things like that. So that is what I enjoyed.
So my question for you with the whole modeling, actress, Hollywood vibe is that even, like, the industry, you said you, like, help these, like, models out and stuff. Is that even, like, a thing now? Because I feel like you could just be on Instagram and be, like, an Instagram model.
Oh, my God, I know. No,
like, how, like, is that even a thing?
No,
like, do you even need an agent? Like,
You're right. Well, right now, everyone is... In a way, it's almost really great because everybody's marketing themselves through social media. And I think that's amazing because at the same time, you can save yourself money and you're able to learn more and market yourself. You have you're able to...
thousands of followers.
Yeah, and you're able to create your own, what you want to be instead of people telling you what you want to do. So you're like on your social media page and you can put whatever you want, create whatever image you want people to think of you. And I don't know, I mean, I think it's great. And you're right, a lot of people right now are gaining work through social media. I mean, all those people on YouTube make bank.
Bang! That's what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah. Like, I'm doing like 20 different things, and I'm trying to see which one sticks because I know.
Dude, but you're good at all of them.
I'm trying. Like,
you're great at all of them.
Like even the podcast that I have is
literally
sponsored.
When you came out with this, I'm like, really, Malik, you fucking came out with a music video. Man. And like, of course, what else?
That's the thing. Is like hard for me because I feel like I'm gonna come out to. I feel like I'm gonna come out to Cali soon. One day. Whatever. And I'm like, what?
Dude, you're gonna be so successful here.
I just wanted to work in Southwest Florida because I want to be like a pioneer there. I don't want to be like, I have two different parts of me. Like, one part of me is like, you got to get the fuck out of here. You're going to make it somewhere else. Like, there's going to be a market for who you are and what you're doing, like your brand. Cool. And then another part of me is like, but what if you were the pioneer, like the pioneer of Southwest Florida that made it happen? Yeah. It's just scary because you're like, either one could not work, right? Like, I could move here and it just dud, or I can stay there and it just dud. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like, so it's like, I don't know.
But the thing is that, again, this is the same worry that every person has when they're in their home base, right? They're scared because they're like, wait, so what if I move? And like, actually, when people move to LA, they last a year and then they go back home.
Really?
Yeah, they
Why?
can't afford it. It's expensive.
Can't afford it.
They can't get the right job to pay the right amount of money. Hello, we just went up to $12 an hour minimum wage. Wow, nothing. That's like pennies. No. So everybody has like 3-4 roommates. People can't afford to live here. It's really expensive, and the food's expensive. Going out is expensive. You have to literally be able to finesse every situation in order to be able to live comfortably.
Is that what you're doing? I'm literally gonna zoom in on your face on this one. Well, you have to. Yeah, that's my brother. Literally, me and my brother just drove from New York to LA, and along the way, we had this like moment in the Colorado mountains, and I don't know if my brother wants me to tell the story, but like, it's a moment of doubt. Of, what the fuck am I doing? Like, but I'm like, bro, you don't understand.
Long roads will do that to you.
Yeah.
Long roads will do that to you.
We're in the mountains, like we're like, what am I really doing? Why did I just leave New York?
No.
And I'm like, bro, you're going to fucking make it. Yeah. Like, I said, bro, our essence.
But you know what, though? Okay, I wanna just have my quick insert and opinion on the word make it. Okay. I feel like we've all made it no matter what. And it just, the whole idea of Hollywood and LA is like, oh, I'm gonna make it. What the fuck are you gonna make? You know? We've already made it. Malik, you've made it from the moment that you were literally born. You are just so creative, and you put your own, literally anybody asks about Malik in South or Florida, whatever, they're like, oh yeah, I know Malik. Dude, come on. So you've made it no matter what. When I got on a plane and I moved to LA, I made it. So, because I moved and I was here. When I woke up this morning and I'm going to work, I made it because I have a job, I'm stable, I have money, you know what I mean? So it's, a lot of people see it like, and that's what stresses people out a lot. Because they're like, okay, well, am I gonna make it, dude? What do you mean? Like,
what is making it?
No, I'm asking you because to me it's like you.
So maybe to answer your question with a question. Making it what you define it as, because
we're gonna real like.
Well, because making it for me, is most definitely different than making it for someone else because.
And I agree.
You don't know what I've been.
Exactly.
The things I've overcome to even get here is making it.
Of course.
So
you should see it that way. You should see it that way. And the thing is that I think a lot of people. I think it's okay to everybody to have their own version of making it. Or, and I think it's more so just accomplishing a goal that you have. Accomplishing a goal.
I feel like we equate making it to either fame, power, or money. Mm-hmm. Fame, power, money. So amount of likes. I think definitely millennials can relate to like the fame, right? Like how many likes, even if it doesn't equate to money, like it's just how many people like you, how many people are watching what you're doing. Power. So that's more like governmental politics. Like how much influence do you have in the world? And then like money, right? Like money is obvious thing. I could put the money phone up, like, hey, babe, what's good, nigga? I think that's what we equated to, but again, I know people in all different areas who've achieved all three of those things and still don't feel like they made it.
Yeah, everybody has their own, and I think it's more of like their end result. Like, where do I want to be that I feel like I'm good and I've made it?
So, okay, let me ask you, because I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
What's making it for you? What is Rosa, because, like, I feel like, yo, like, just the fact that you moved out here and you're doing your thing and you're surviving, I feel like, yo, Rosa's made it. That's why you're on here, because I feel like I'm just interviewing people I feel like that have made it, in my mind.
Right.
But you could still be grinding it out and not feel like you made it. So what is making it for you?
For me, made it is, and the reason I can answer this question now is because for a while I was really unhappy and I had everything. I literally had everything I've ever wanted. I was really unhappy. So for me, making it is just being like happy with yourself where you are.
Content.
Yeah, just being content, because you can have money, you can have power, you can have 3 billion Instagram followers. Those people, yeah, they might pay your bills if you have 3 billion, you know. But I mean that person might be happy, you know, then that's great for them. That's their making it. That's that's a form of content. But for me, it's just being able to travel when I feel like it, because that's my one thing. I just want to just get up and leave. Yeah, freedom.
You define. I feel like I know. Like
I'm a little free spirit.
You are, and that's why I feel like as everyone has a different. I think in general, most humans define. Well, because money represents freedom. You know, money is the ability to do whatever you want. Right, power represents freedom, the ability to make decisions when you want, and it's almost fame too. Like I think a lot of it, I think actually fame might be a little bit more enslaving than free, but I think a lot of people equate success to the quality of life to freedom. For me, it's freedom. Like for me, like self-employment, like being able to, like, I can do this. Yeah. I've been on a 2-week fucking hiatus from Southwest Florida, and I've made money the whole way through. You know, so like, and I come back. You sneeze, go ahead, sneeze. do your thing. Salud. And I've made money the whole way through, so that's freedom for me. Like the ability to travel, the ability to, and a lot of.
And Malik, you've come to a point where you've made that happen for yourself. Like you have decided that you would like to separate yourself from a normal 9-to-5 job, right? You might be working 9 to 5, but it's for yourself. It's for you. It's your business. You're growing yourself. So in a way, honestly, I think you've made it. You are an entrepreneur. You have a million businesses. You know what I mean? So it's the same way that you look at others from the outside. It's how we look at you from our inside. It's
all about perspective, man.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's interesting, you know, sometimes it's cool to see other people's perspective of you, because then you realize, you know, how good you have it, or how good you've, not just have it, like it's been given to you, but like how good you made it.
Yeah, of
course. Like you've actually, and I think that's actually a good play on words. Like to make it is like, you made it. Like you actually created this thing for yourself.
Yeah.
And that might be what made it really means. It's like I created this opportunity and this position, and I finessed it, or I worked my way into it. You know, like I ladies night this bitch all the way through.
Dude, no, but it's true. It's the same thing. Like how I'm saying, like I'm happy. I'm good. Like I don't.
That's super cool. Okay, so, you know, talking about like making it, right, and like contentment, happiness, all that good stuff. You're obviously here in a sense for yourself. You've made it, but what's still driving you? What's next for you? What's your goals? Like, what is the end goal for Rosa? Like, what do you want to do, man? Like, because you're an entrepreneur, you're creative, you're like all these different things. So like, what's the end goal for you?
Well, I feel like I can't really say what my end goal is, because I'm hoping that by the time that my next step has been accomplished, I have another one that I want to do. You know? Like, I don't ever want to be...
just one track minded on one.
Dude, seriously, if I'm just like, okay, great, like, I've accomplished this, I would be so bored. I would have to do something else again.
You like change?
Yeah. Oh my God, I get so bored easily. This is me and men. This is why I'm like.
So wait, you have a boyfriend right now?
I do.
Damn, girl.
Jeez. TMZ. We
have to talk about that. I mean, a little bit. I mean, nigga, like I'm a couple whiskeys in, like.
I do.
We're gonna get back to that question about what you're gonna do, but like, how's that been going? What's that been like?
It's. Awkward silence.
It's you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry.
No. It's hard because he's in the military.
Wow.
So we're separated, and he lives in Louisiana, and I live here, but he's from LA. He's like born and raised in LA, which is nice because you don't meet a lot of people who are actually from LA. Everybody that you meet is from coming in everywhere, you know. So, yeah, I do.
You have a boyfriend, and you said you like change. You were living. All right, let's just go through a little bit about like where you've moved to. You were obviously South Carolina, went down to Southwest Florida, then went up to LA, and then you went to Houston.
Yeah. No, actually, I went back to Florida.
Back to Florida?
Yeah.
Wait. I'm always interested to know, what is it like moving away, big city, oh my God, and then coming fucking back? Was that hard for you?
You know, I spent, how long was I in Florida? I left LA because I just really needed a break. I was, at the time, 22-ish, I think. Okay. And I was working in like a corporate office, and I had a really high position, and again, I had everything, but I wasn't happy. So I'm like, this is too much. Like, I've been working for so long that I really just need to like take my bra off and be free.
I need to take my bra off.
That sort of be free.
Right.
And I left back to Florida, and honestly, I was super happy. I was really happy. I was really, really happy because all of my really great friends were there, and you know, at the time that I lived in LA, at that time, I had friends, but they were more like work friends, and it's just different. You know, the vibes are different, the people are different, and people in Florida are just a lot more real. You know, they're a lot more real. They're a lot more just down
There's less of a pressure to be someone you're not.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to Tequila Bar and just twerk if you want to.
Shouts out to Tequila Bar and Harold Matos and all y'all niggas out there. I gotta come see y'all out there sometime. But yeah, you don't have to be anyone.
Yeah, you don't have. I mean, I could wear. I mean, it's funny because I just posted a Facebook post not that long ago because I was gonna say how you can dress in Florida, you can wear anything and just don't go out. Right. Bruh, you can wear anything here. I've literally seen girls I went out last night, I saw girls in like tennis shoes and like people either look like they're going to prom or they're going to go running, or it's all sorts of outfits out here. So I take it back. I thought that you couldn't be regular here, but people are extra regular. They're extra regular.
They're so basic that they're so extra that they're so basic.
Like they're trying so hard to just be basic. It's too much. So I was really happy, and I went back, and I had my friends, and I loved them, and it was just really nice to be home, and it was just nice to just be home be with people that I really loved. And I met a lot of people at that time because Fort Myers or that area had grown so much already. Yeah. Remember, I got to check out Nice Guys.
Yo, see, people be coming back and realizing like we ain't on some like basic shit. Like Nice Guys, never mind, fucking Cork Soakers, Fort Myers Brewery.
The food is so good.
We're not playing. I mean, it took us a little bit, but like I feel like the thing about Southwest Florida is that's why I said I wanted to stay and like pioneer shit, because once you do something.
Dude, this is a perfect time too.
Yeah,
it's just like the ball is rolling.
It's going.
So you just have to push it. It's just gonna.
If you're the first person to do something with quality, you prove to the person, you prove to the city that it can be done. So like when Nevermind was like the first, I would say, quality.
And then they have that like Speakeasy.
Well, it's Animal House, and now it's changed to Irish Bar. Either way, whatever he does, Shannon. Shout out to my boy Shannon. Whatever he does, it's quality. So like. When Nevermind opened, everyone was like, it's not going to last. Because we just didn't believe that something as niche as that would last. Because it was always like Applebee's, fucking all these
God, I know.
chains. So when it actually survived for a year, it was like, the Nice Guys popped up. Cork Soakers popped up. Now Big Blue's there. Like all these different places are popping up, and people are like, gravitating towards it. Yeah. And so that's, I think,
it's refreshing.
Yeah.
It's refreshing. And so when I went back, it was really nice because I thought to myself, okay, I have like a little piece of LA still here, and I have it with really great people. Yeah. Everyone was really great, and everyone is hungry.
Yeah.
That place will make it because everyone is hungry.
Wow.
And you need hungry people to make things happen, you know, and
people who want to, who aren't content. I think the best formula for a city like Southwest Florida is, like you said, people who are hungry, people who aren't content, but people who are creative, people who are entrepreneurs, people who won't just complain.
Right, just like, oh, this sucks. Okay, so make a difference.
And that's literally,
add something.
This is kind of how I want to end it, is like, this is why I want to do this series called Homecoming. This is a series of videos where it's interview people who have gone on to do, I don't even want to say bigger things, because I don't want to identify it as that. I want to say who have gone to do different things in other bigger cities.
Right.
And I wanted I want it to be, one, a lesson for people who want to go and move, to like maybe take some things from what you've learned. And I also want it to be a lesson for people who are going to stay for a while and who are going to try to build these things, because the grass isn't always greener. Wherever you go, there you are, right? Like, LA is great, but like, you still have to be Rosa to make it in LA. Like, you can't, you have to work, right? So like, for me, I would ask you this. It's like a two-part question. What have you learned from transitioning from Southwest Florida to here? Maybe the biggest thing or top two things you learned, and what advice would you give to a Southwest Florida native who is maybe thinking about hopping over to a bigger city and trying to make it there?
So I guess I'll start with the second question first.
Yeah, go for it.
Don't hesitate. Just don't hesitate. I feel like there's a lot of hesitation, and stop asking yourself so many questions. It's great to have a plan, of course. But also, I think that it's important to believe that we can do what you're like proof. We can do whatever we want.
Do whatever we want. Nothing's
we can literally do whatever it is that we want. And people are worried about their families, or they're worried about their current jobs, or they're worried about where they're gonna live. You know, all these things are normal, of course. But just stop asking yourself so many questions and just go. It's and I tell people this all the time. I'm like, it's literally that easy. When I wanted to move from Florida to Houston, I was like, I want to move, so I'm gonna go. And and the thing is that I also have made X amount of money, right? So when I went to Houston, I knew the money that I wanted to make, and people don't understand that when you get a job, you can haggle with them. Like, if they offer you something, you can say, no, actually, I would like higher.
Yeah, you have to have a high sense of self-worth, though.
Yeah, like, but that's the thing.
Scary.
I get it, but it's also fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Dude, I was going to college here, and then I didn't finish. And then I went back, and now I'm going back. You know? So I've always believed that I could do a million things. I feel like I'm so unstoppable that I could literally, which I have. I've quit my job and gone to the next and been like, okay, so this is what I can do. This is what I can bring to the table. This is the money that I would like to make. And they're like,
what if I rephrase your fake it till you make it to this? Because I agree. What if it was rephrased to project out into the world what you are going to be? Because for me, when I do things, a lot of times when I post an Instagram post about like this new thing, I haven't even fucking done anything yet.
Yeah.
I just made the logo.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, But
you receive a lot of response, too.
Yeah, so you go, like, so for example, I have a business idea. I work backwards, whereas other people would calculate the risk, get the investment, all that good stuff. I go, fuck that. This is a great idea. Yeah. I'm going to make a logo. I'm going to make a promo video. Yeah. And then I'm going to say, this is what I'm doing. Who wants in? Yeah. And then people go, me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to do this now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I project. I think I'm almost faking it, but I'm not. I'm like literally just projecting into the world what I want. And then when I get the response or whatever the response or not, then I'm going to execute it. Like, yeah, exactly. I know I'm going to make it from point A to point Z. Yeah. I know. And I feel like that's what you have to do sometimes. You just have to go, you know what?
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking do it.
And I'm going to do it. That's literally.
And if I can't do it, guess what? I'm going to put myself around people who are doing it. I'm going to show people that I want to do it. You're just going to put yourself in the right environment.
Yeah, and it's just taking baby steps. People get so stressed out, and they're like, how am I going to do this? It's so big. Oh, my God. It's like, dude, just take the first step. If you initiate whatever your end result or whatever end result you want, you've at least started. You've at least initiated it.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, just go, just do it. And even when I came, again, I was gone for 2 years, I came back, I was in South Carolina applying for jobs, and I immediately got a job, and I got off the plane, walked into my new apartment that I've done all of it on the East Coast and went into my new job. Why? Because I knew that I could do it.
Because you just know.
I knew that I could do it. And dude, I don't know. Maybe it's just how I can sell myself.
Yeah. So, Rosa, you're killing it, and you're making it in your sense of the word and the phrase. It's so cool every time I come out here to see what you're doing, to see your spirit still high, and your opportunity creating for yourself. Thank you for just sitting down with me, let me stay at your house last night or this morning. You're doing great.
By the way, Malik calls me at 3 a.m. Hey, I'm in Koreatown. Where are you? I'm coming back from the club.
Yo, deadass, I swear to God, I was like, yo, she's going to be across the fucking city. And she's like, I'm literally, I swear to God, I text her my location. She goes, I'm outside. And I'm like, how are you outside? I just pulled up from freaking Utah. There's no way you're outside. She's like, no, literally, I was driving through Koreatown.
I'm like, I'm here. Let's go. Are you ready or what?
I love that, dude. Thank you for this being the person you are. Just all the things you're doing, the person you are. You know that Cape Coral is always home, or North Fort Myers is always home to you.
North Fort Myers.
I know a lot of people are going to watch this because they have a crush on you, and they're... You know how many people are like, yo, Rosa's the baddest girl. It's either you or Annabelle. It's hard being friends with you two.
Annabelle.
It's so hard being friends with you two because it's like, bro, they're so, I'm like, they're like, you dating any? I'm like, no, chill, bro.
Friend zone?
Friend zone, yeah. Go watch my videos. You'll understand. No, seriously though, just you're a beautiful person, you're inside and out. What you're doing, you're ambitious. You inspire me. I love what you're doing. So thank you for being on. Thank you for coming on.
I love you. Thank you.
Anything, last words you want to say to people? Last words. It could be deep. It could be nothing. It could be
nothing. Just do it, guys.
Just do it, bitch.
Stop playing. Keep it popping. Keep it moving.
All those motherfuckers who didn't think she was going to make it, you're real. You played yourself. Congratulations.
You played yourself. My dogs are barking. They're so...
I got too close. All right. Thanks, Rosa. Peace.